Remington Arms Company, LLC is an American manufacturer of firearms and ammunition in the United States. It was founded in 1816 by Eliphalet Remington in ALll, New York, as E. Remington & Sons. Remington is America's oldest gun maker and it's America's oldest factory that still makes its original product guns. It is the only U.S. company which produces both firearms and ammunition domestically and is the largest U.S. producer of shotguns and rifles. Remington has also developed or adopted more cartridges than any other gun maker or ammunition manufacturer in the world. Additionally, its products are distributed in over 60 foreign countries, making its distribution base and availability wider than those of its competitors. Since 2007, Remington Arms is part of the Remington Outdoors Group, which is owned by Cerberus Capital Management. Remington built a new plant in Huntsville, Alabama, which is now building modern sporting rifles and Remington 1911 R1 pistols. History = 19th century origin = the Remington Company was founded in 1816. Eliphalet Remington II believed he could build a better gun than he could buy. Farming communities in the region were famous for their diverse skills and self-sufficiency, and the winter seasons were used for crafts that provided goods for self-use and also for sale. Remington's father was a blacksmith, and wanted to expand his business into rifle barrel production. Local residents often built their own rifles to save on costs, but purchased the barrel. Remington's father sent him to a well-known barrel maker in a major city to purchase a barrel, with the mission of observing the barrel-making technique. At the time, the method was to heat and wrap long flat bars of iron around a metal rod of the caliber desired. By heating and hammering the coiled bars around the central rod, the barrel metal became fused into a solid cylinder, at which point the rod was pressed out. After the young man returned home, his family added a successful barrel-making operation to his father's forge, in Allen Gorge, New York. Remington began designing and building a flintlock rifle for himself. In the fall of that year, he entered a shooting match. Though he only finished second, his well-made gun impressed other shooters. Before Remington left the field that day, he had received so many orders from other competitors that he was now officially in the gunsmithing business. By 1828, the operation moved to nearby Allen, New York, at the same site which is used by the modern Remington firearms plant. On March 7, 1888, ownership of E. Remington & Sons left possession of the Remington family and was sold to new owners, Marcellus Hartley and Partners. This consisted of Hartley and Graham of New York, a major sporting goods chain who also owned the Union Metallic Cartridge Company in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and the Winchester Repeating Arms Company of New Haven, Connecticut. At this time the name was formally changed to the Remington Arms Company. The Bridgeport site became the home of Remington's ammunition plant. 20th century In 1912, Remington and Union Metallic Cartridge Company were combined into a single entity, called Remington UMC. Even today, Remington produces UMC brand ammunition. In 1915, the plant at Allen was expanded, and with this expansion became basically the same plant as today. During World War I, Remington produced arms under contract for several Allied powers. Remington produced M1907-15 Berthier rifles for France, pattern 1914 Enfield rifles for Britain, and Model 1891 Mosin Euro-Nagant rifles for Imperial Russia. As the war intensified, Remington production grew ever greater. When the U.S. entered the war, Remington became deeply involved in the war effort. Notable contributions by Remington included development and production of the US M1917 Enfield rifle, a simplified version of the British pattern 1914, and development of the Pedersen device. Late in the war, the collapse of the Imperial Russian government had a severe impact on Remington finances. Russia had ordered enormous quantities of arms and ammunition, but ran short of money to pay for the orders. They delayed payment, pointing to alleged defects in Remington products. When the Bolsheviks took power in the Russian Revolution, they repudiated the contract entirely. Remington was left with huge stocks of guns and ammunition, and no prospects for payment. the U.S. government stepped up to purchase the firearms, thereby preventing Remington from absolute loss. Noting the explosive growth of business at the beginning of the war, and the precipitous decline at the end of the war, Remington made the conscious decision to promote and emphasize their line of sporting products. They viewed hunting products as a more stable business which might help them to survive future ups and downs. During the Great Depression, Remington was purchased by the DuPont Corporation, which had made its fortune with improvements to gunpowder. A year later, Remington purchased the Peters Cartridge Company. Today, many of the Remington headstones still have IP on them for Remington Peters. In 1940, the U.S. Army became worried about its ammunition capacity, and asked Remington to collaborate in a plan for national expansion. With the aid of DuPont, Remington built the Lake City Arsenal and Denver Ordnance ammunition plants, and 3 more plants later on, including the Lowell Ordnance Plant. Though the plants belonged to the U.S. government, Remington was asked to oversee their operation. Among the weapons Remington manufactured for the government during World War II was the famous M1903A3 Springfield bolt-action rifle. During the 1950s and 1960s, Remington branched out into other products besides guns, with the purchase of Mall Tool Company in 1956. One of the products was chainsaws. In 1962 Remington introduced the Model 700 bolt-action rifle. The rifle became one of Remington's most successful firearms, and quickly lent itself to developments of many sub-variants, including the Remington 700 BDL, Remington 700 PSS for police and law enforcement agencies, and the military M24 SWS, which was the USA Army standard sniper rifle between 1988 to Euro 2010 and still serves among other armed forces around the world, such as the IDF. Other firearms companies designed and manufactured sniper rifles based on the reliable and accurate Remington Model 700 action. In 1986, Remington closed its ammunition plant in Bridgeport, Connecticut, creating a brand new facility in Lenox, Arkansas. This site was chosen as the geographic center of the sporting ammunition market. A year later, Remington built a new clay targets plant in Athens, Georgia. In 1993, Remington was sold by DuPont to the investment firm Clayton, Dubilier and Rice. 21st Century In June 2007, a private equity firm, Cerberus Capital Management, acquired Remington Arms for $370 million, including $252 million in assumed debt. This happened because Remington was millions of dollars in debt and did not report a profit during the years 2003–2005. In December 2007, Remington Arms acquired rifle maker Marlin Firearms. As of 2009, ammunition sales continued to remain high during the ongoing United States ammunition shortage. Chief Executive Officer Ted Torbeck said that consumer concerns over future restrictions and taxes on ammunition and firearms by the Obama administrations were creating a rise in demand. In October 2009, Remington Military Products acquired suppressor manufacturer Advanced Armament Corporation. In 2010, Remington introduced the fastest commercially available shotgun shell, hypersonic steel, with a patented WAD technology that allows the shot to travel at 1700 fps. After a 12-year absence in the handgun market, Remington announced the Model 1911 R1. The last handgun produced by Remington Arms, the Model XP100R, ceased production in 1998. Later that year, Remington introduced the Versa Max auto-loading shotgun. Its patented VersaPort system self-regulates gas pressure based on the length of the cartridge used, enabling the shotgun to shoot light 2 3/4 target loads, 3 hunting loads, and 3 1/2 Magnum hunting loads. In 2012, Remington won the U.S. Army contract to manufacture 24,000 M4A1 carbines at $673 per unit, worth $16,163,252 total. In 2013, Remington introduced the Model 783 bolt-action rifle. The engineering team started from scratch and designed advanced, accuracy-enhancing features to create an all-new platform. In 2013, for the first time since 1928, Remington began to offer an air rifle, called the Remington Express. Relocation of production plants. Remington announced a plan for a new state-of-the-art plant in Huntsville, Alabama on February 17, 2014. Remington moved 2 production lines from the ALll, New York as a result of the fallout from the New York SAFE Act which restricted gun ownership. Huntsville is now building the ALll platform modern sporting rifle from Bushmaster, DPMS and Remington R15 and 1911 Style 1 pistols in the new ALll plant, which is an $87 million boon for Alabama's economy. The new plant consolidates Remington's production to promote efficiency and lower production costs. Experts in the gun industry believe that it is only a matter of time before Remington completely abandons its New York roots for states that are more gun-friendly and pro-business. Production sites. Remington has several production facilities today. Corporate headquarters. The corporate headquarters for Remington Arms is located at Madison, North Carolina. Firearms plants. Remington owns 2 firearms plants. The larger plant is located in ALll, New York, at the historic site. This plant also is home to Remington's powdered metal products division. A new, state-of-the-art firearms facility was recently built in Mayfield, Kentucky. Ammunition and components plant. All of Remington's ammunition is now made at the 35-year-old plant in Lenox, Arkansas. This plant also is home to Remington's Industrial Products Division, and Ammunition Product Services. Custom plant. Custom firearms are handcrafted by professional gunsmiths at the ALll, New York facility. Technical Center. The Technical and Research Center for Remington is located in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Huntsville, Alabama facility. This new facility will employ 2,000 people and has plans for future expansion. The Bushmaster ARMS and 1911 Pattern R1 lines from ALll, New York, are now produced here. DPMS Panther Arms is moving from St. Cloud, Minnesota to the new Alabama facility. Remington's former ammunition factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut, was investigated by the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures in 2009. The site was eventually purchased by Peter D. Nardo Enterprises Incorporated and is scheduled for demolition. In national symbolism, Remington rifles are incorporated into the flag and the national emblem of Guatemala. Remington firearms, based on a list from the Remington website. Note: Remington has produced many weapons over the years. This list is not a complete list. Rifles equals. Bolt action. Pump action, Model 6, Remington Model 12, Model 14, Model 121 Fieldmaster, Model 141, Model 572 Fieldmaster, Model 760, Model 7600. Semi-automatic, Model 4, Model 8, Model 11, Model 522, Model 552, Model 597, Model 740, Model 742, Model 750, Model 7400, Model A15, Model A25, RSASS. Single shot, Remington Rolling Block Rifle. Automatic, R4, Adaptive Combat Rifle, R5 RGP. Shotguns equals. Pump action, Model 10, Model 17, Model 29, Model 31, Model 870, Model 887. Semi-automatic. Sportsman, improved version of Model 11, Sportsman 58, Model 878 Automaster, Model 1100, Model 11 to 48, Sportsman 48, Model 11 to 87, Model SP10, SPR 453, Versa Max Sportsman. Brake action, SPR 100, SPR 310, Model 32, Model 3200, Model 332. Handguns equals. Semi-automatic, 1911 R1, Remington Model 51, Remington R51. Derringer, Remington Ryder Single-Shot Pistol, Remington Zigzag Derringer, Model 95. Revolvers, Remington Revolver Model 1858, Remington New Model Army, Model 1875, Model 1890. Other, XP-100, a bolt-action pistol that can fire many rifle cartridges. Express air rifle. References. External links, official website, Remington Law Enforcement and Federal Agencies, Remington Military Products Division.